Hey everyone, welcome back to Situational English Talks. I'm Alex, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Jess.
Hey there! Great to see you all again. How's it going?
Doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. You know, I was thinking about something this morning. How often do we actually use certain expressions without even realizing how useful they are?
Oh, that's interesting. What do you mean?
Well, think about it. Every single day, we throw around phrases, phrasal verbs, little expressions, and honestly, a lot of learners struggle with these things. They memorize grammar rules perfectly, but when it comes to casual conversation, they get stuck.
That's such a valid idea. I totally agree with you. Just last week, someone asked me what hang out meant in everyday context, and I realized how many of these expressions are really essential, but often ignored.
Exactly. That's precisely why we're tackling this today. We've put together a collection of 30 incredibly practical words, expressions, and phrasal verbs that'll actually make a difference in your daily English.
And honestly, once you master these, your conversations will feel so much more natural and confident.
Right on. We're covering everything from everyday expressions to workplace vocabulary, emotional reactions, conversational phrases, and of course, some solid phrasal verbs that native speakers use constantly.
I'm genuinely excited about this episode. Some of these might surprise you, and others will probably make you go, oh, I use that all the time.
Brilliant. So whether you're B1 or B2, this episode is going to be incredibly valuable for you. Ready to dive in?
Absolutely. Let's get started.
All right. Let's jump into our first category, everyday expressions. These are phrases you'll hear literally everywhere, in conversations with friends, at the store, basically anywhere English speakers gather.
Yes, and I think what makes these so powerful is that they're super casual and authentic. You won't find them in textbooks, but you absolutely need them in real life.
Couldn't have said it better. So our very first expression is, I screwed up.
Ooh, that's a good one to start with. So basically, this means you made a mistake or did something wrong. It's definitely informal, by the way. You wouldn't say this to your boss in a formal meeting. Well, maybe if you were close with them, but generally it's friend-to-friend talk.
Exactly. And the beauty of this phrase is how universal it is. Everyone messes up at some point. Let me give you an example so this is clear. Imagine you promised to meet your friend at 3 p.m., but you completely forgot and showed up at 4 p.m. When you arrive, you'd probably say something like, ugh, I screwed up. I totally lost track of time.
Exactly. And the beauty of this phrase is how universal it is. Everyone messes up at some point. Let me give you an example so this is clear. Imagine you promised to meet your friend at 3 p.m., but you completely forgot and showed up at 4 p.m. When you arrive, you'd probably say something like, ugh, I screwed up. I totally lost track of time.
Right. It's not blaming anyone else. You own it. Moving on to our second expression. It's up to you.
This one's brilliant because you hear it constantly. Basically, it means the decision is yours to make. No one else is going to decide for you. You have the freedom or responsibility to choose.
And it's pretty neutral in tone, right? Not formal, not super casual. You can use it with anyone.
Absolutely. Here's a practical example. You and your colleagues are trying to pick where to eat lunch. Someone says, I'm fine with wherever we go. And then you respond, okay, so it's up to you guys to pick the place then. You're basically putting the ball in their court.
I like that. Putting the ball in their court. Same idea. Okay, next up is, I'm not buying it.
Ooh, this is fun. So this doesn't literally mean you're refusing to purchase something. It means you don't believe what someone is saying. You're skeptical.
Exactly. And it's quite informal too. You'd say this to friends or people you're comfortable with. Let me set up an example. Your friend tells you they didn't eat the last slice of pizza, but you saw them do it 5 minutes ago. You'd probably laugh and say, "Come on, I'm not buying it. I literally saw you."
Yes, that's so relatable. The tone really matters here too. You can say it playfully or seriously, depending on the situation.
Great point. Now, let's look at this one. "You've gotta be kidding me."
This is an expression of disbelief, but it's usually stronger than the last one. It expresses surprise or shock, like you think what someone just said is absolutely ridiculous or unbelievable.
So it's more of a reaction than just doubting someone.
Exactly. It's like a gut reaction. If someone told you they were moving to the moon next month, you'd probably say, "You've got to be kidding me." It's showing that you think what they're saying is completely far-fetched or unbelievable.
Let me throw in an example to make this crystal clear. Picture this. You're at work and your colleague says the meeting scheduled for 9 a.m. tomorrow is actually canceled, but you just spent 2 hours preparing materials for it. You might react with, "You've got to be kidding me. Why didn't anyone tell me earlier?"
Great. That frustration and surprise is exactly what the phrase captures. Moving right along to number 5. It rings a bell.
Ooh, I like this one. It's quite poetic when you think about it. Basically, it means something sounds familiar or that you vaguely remember something.
Right. You're not saying you definitely remember it completely, just that it sounds like you've heard or seen it before. There's something familiar about it.
So if I said, "Have you ever been to that Italian restaurant on 5th Street?" And you said, "It rings a bell, but I can't quite remember it," what would that mean?
That means you've probably been there or heard about it before, but your memory isn't crystal clear about it. It's triggering something in your brain, but you can't fully grab onto it.
Brilliant. Here's a concrete example. Your friend mentions a movie called The Secret Garden, and even though you haven't watched it, you say, "Yeah, that title rings a bell. I think my sister mentioned it once."
Love that. You're not claiming full knowledge, just that familiarity is there somewhere. Next one. Don't take it personally.
This is such an important phrase in communication. Essentially, someone's telling you not to feel hurt or offended by something they said or did. They're asking you to separate the comment from your own identity.
It's often used when you've just said something critical or blunt and you want to soften the impact of it. You're essentially saying, this isn't about you as a person, it's about the situation.
Let's make this tangible with an example. Imagine your manager reviews your project and says, "The writing in this report is a bit unclear." You might feel defensive, but they could follow up with, "Don't take it personally, it's just about the technical documentation. Your work ethic is fantastic."
That really helps put it in perspective. They're creating distance between criticism and your value as a person. And finally, well, not finally because we've got way more to cover, but our last one in this batch is "I'll take your word for it."
This is a good one. It means you're going to trust what someone is telling you, even though you might not have direct proof or experience yourself.
Exactly. It's showing trust and acceptance. You're essentially saying, "I believe you. I'm going to trust your judgment on this."
And it can be used genuinely or sometimes even with a hint of sarcasm, depending on the tone of voice. Here's an example to clarify. Your friend insists that a new coffee shop has the best cappuccino in the city. You haven't tried it yourself yet, so you say, "I'll take your word for it. Let's go check it out sometime."
That's straightforward and genuine. But you could also say it sarcastically if your friend has, well, questionable taste in things. Either way, the phrase stays the same.
Perfect. So there we have it. 7 everyday expressions that are absolutely essential for natural English conversation.
These are the backbone of casual chat, honestly. Once you can use these naturally, you'll sound so much more like a real English speaker.
Right, moving into our second category now, phrasal verbs. These little combinations can be tricky, but they're absolutely everywhere in English.
And honestly, they're what separates textbook English from real everyday English. Native speakers use them constantly without even thinking about it.
So true. Let's kick things off with our first phrasal verb, to run into someone.
Ooh, good choice. So this doesn't mean to physically collide with someone in a violent way. It means to encounter someone unexpectedly or by chance. It's a casual meeting you weren't planning.
Right, so you just bump into them by accident, figuratively speaking. Here's a scenario to make it clear. You're walking through the supermarket on a Tuesday afternoon, and suddenly you see your old high school friend at the checkout. You weren't expecting to see them there. You could say later, "Guess who I ran into at the grocery store today?"
Great, that's exactly how you'd use it. And it's pretty informal, so you'd use it with friends and family. You wouldn't necessarily say this in a formal business presentation, but in everyday conversation all the time.
Exactly the vibe. Now let's look at our second phrasal verb in this section, to come across as.
This one's really interesting because it's about perception and how people perceive you. Basically, it means the impression you give to others, how you seem or appear to them.
So it's not about what you actually are, but how you're being perceived.
Bingo, it's about the image you're projecting, whether intentionally or not. Let me set up an example. Imagine you're in a job interview and you're really nervous, so you speak very quietly and don't make much eye contact. The interviewer might think you come across as shy or lacking confidence, even though you might be incredibly confident normally.
Oh, that's a solid example. So the phrase captures that gap between reality and perception. Let me throw in another angle to this. A friend of yours is always joking and making sarcastic comments. Someone who doesn't know them well might come across as rude or mean, but their actual friends know they're just being funny.
Exactly. And here's the thing, you can use it positively too. Like, she comes across as very professional and trustworthy. It doesn't have to be negative.
Great point. So come across as is really about that first impression or the vibe someone gets from you.
These two phrasal verbs are foundational stuff, honestly.
They really are. And the cool thing is, once you understand the pattern, you can start spotting other phrasal verbs and making educated guesses about what they mean.
Love that mindset. We've still got a bunch more to tackle, so buckle up.